anytime I was going to school, they would put breast milk for me.
Seriously?
So when it is finished, then I'll finish for the day. As soon as I get to school, I'll finish the breast milk and I will start crying again. Then I'm back to the house. So I run for my primary school. Then when I entered secondary school, I was also the best athlete in my time. And then we'll leave Asaba Girls Grammar School to represent Bendel State and all that. So I was one of the fastest female athletes in Bendel State.
Now, we know that at the state assemblies, we even here in Delta State House of Assembly, we have very few women. At the National Assembly, we have very few women as well. And I believe that's why we don't have a voice. And when they come talk about the affirmative, whatever, you know, the voices of the men will want to overshadow that of the women. And that's the reason we need to all come out right now to do the politics and be part of it. And so we can have a voice as women, you know, speaking for one another. Now, as a woman running for the House of Assembly seat here to represent your people, Oshimile South local government, you know, let's get your advice on how we can get more women to be in positions of authority, like in the House of Assemblies, state or national. What do you think they can do, like, you know, to be part of it and come in?
At the National Assembly, the House of Reps has 360 members, while the Senate has 109.
Of all, how many women?
Women is maybe about 6 or 7. Then the one that is 360, you have just about 12. The highest we've had was 20-something during Obasanjo's period.
That's not good enough for us.
It's not out of 360. Okay, out of 360 in reps, and then 109 at the Senate. In all the 36 states, I don't know how many women we have in the House of Assembly. His Excellency is ever ready to help us to get to where we are going to. But power, like I said, is not something you get sleeping, lying down. You have to work for it. Yes. So when somebody is helping you, you too help yourself. If God says, oh, you are going to become president, and you are sleeping inside the room, and people will be helping you, you cannot come out, it doesn't make sense. So I advise women to let us love ourselves. Let's begin to talk to one another. Let's begin to participate. Let us also begin to see how we can contribute. If for example, I'm going for election now, I'm telling everybody, I even told the market women, everybody, all of you must contribute money to put me there. Support you. Yes, now.
That's what we're talking about right here now. That's what we're talking about. We need to.
So you find that all of them, it's not about, I know politics is about money, but it's about also numbers going out. So those who don't have money will be going from one place to the other. I have one of my women leaders in my local government. Every morning, when she leaves morning mass, she's going from one house to the other. Mrs. Nwabong, he will go from one house to the other, telling you that you must vote for Bridget too. You must do this. He knows the number of people living in this place. You know, if all of us do it with love,
women,
we will achieve a lot because we are more in numbers.
That's true.
We are more in numbers.
We just say if they bring out the buses for campaign, the men. When you come check the buses, it's all filled with women. But if we can come out like that for ourselves, as a woman is going on, let's all come out like that. We'll wear the t-shirts and we'll wear the caps and everything. I think it's going to work out for us. Now let's come to you again. The woman in you. You are running for the House of Assembly right now. Let's first and foremost ask and get to know what inspired you. Why do you want to run?
Why I want to run for the House of Assembly is because of my people. And if you work closely with His Excellency, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, you understand that his whole life is about how can this person around me be happy. I'm just telling you, how can we bring out the best from these people? Don't forget about what people are saying. How can we bring out the best from these people? How can these people be happy? I found that most of the things he does and his Her Excellency, you find that it has become very critical for any reasonable person to see how that is the person that don't know anybody. Somebody from inside one place that will never even dream of shaking the governor will come out and say, na governor be this. Do you understand? To go and meet that person, and that person will tell you, even if he's inside a hole, he will tell you, let me tell you, you can't do anything to me. I have the phone number of this governor. I have the phone number of house member. You are not becoming a house member or governor or anybody because you want to be a rich person. For me, it's like your mother has said to you, go to Bogonogo market to buy something. So at that time, you're running an errand. Okay. So I see myself as going on an errand for the people. Okay. Go and do this. Because representation is not about going there to sit down. It's about meeting with these people. How can this person now be able to say what I have said? That I don't need to go to anybody. I can call the house member now. I not be Bridget. Phone number. I have her phone number. I can talk to her. I can talk to His Excellency. Do you understand? Yeah. Now you go out, you travel abroad. You see all these heads of states. You see them in the shops. You see all these parliamentarians. You see them everywhere on their own. They are not big people. You cannot become a big person at the detriment of the people, because it is the collective interest of the people as making you stand there, and it is the collective effort that brought you there. So you're answerable to them. So what I want is to make sure that I have big people who are able to demand for accountability. That's just what I want. That's people from my community, people from Oko, anybody, anywhere will say to you, what are you doing? What have you been able to do? Is there money? What are you using this money for? What have you been able to do here? We have a problem here. You have not come. If somebody says to me, this our transformer is not working and we have not seen you, we don't have light. Nice. I don't have to get angry. All I need to do is to say, it's not working. He said yes. Then he will say, come. And I will go there, we analyze the issues, and we say, you know that, go and tell them that they should come and do it. When you bring the ministry, the MDA in charge, to come and do that transformer, they'll be very happy. That means they are represented. It's not when they sit down tomorrow they say, they now feel that the government has no interest, as far as the matter are concerned. But the government has interest. All that the government is looking for is somebody that can stand in between them and the people and say, this is what the people have said. And the government will say, okay, we'll do 1/5. And I'll say back, the government say we'll do 1/5. We'll say, okay, 1/5, keep the one first. Then tomorrow we say, go and tell them again if they can do the second one. Then you go like that. At the end of the day, they don't want to see the governor. They just want the governor and his people to know that they are alive, that they are part of this system. Like I said, my husband just needs respect from me. That's true. Even if I have all the money in the world, even if I become the president, my husband needs respect from me. That is what the people want. Recognize them that they are part of these people. We all of us own this place. It's not only for you. And nobody wants to come to my house and you must begin to write paper and be calling and be taking an appointment. No. When you want to see them to vote for you, you go and see them. You don't get visitors notes. Yeah? Even if all those ones are administration. But the important thing is that the people must know that they can reach you. And your phone is not a big man's phone. Your phone, what is the meaning of phone? It's for you to get in touch with people. Let them get in touch with people, with you. It's easier to get in touch with you on phone than to enter keke or moto or anywhere to come and see you. Because the moment you pick your call, you have solved their problem. It's not just about money, it's about recognition, it's about respect. And that is why I respect His Excellency. Because except His Excellency, I have not met you. If His Excellency walk around from Meduguri to Calabar, and he met you and you say, my name is Oche, my name is this. When he sees you in the next 15 years, he will call you by your name. That is the position. And this is what I want to learn. I don't want anybody to come and tell me about a community in my local government. Somebody came to me and they were talking and he said, oh, it's from Oko. I said, I can tell you where your house is in Oko. I can tell you this where your building is. So I need to know my people and my people need to know me. When we have such relationship, it's just relationship we need. Recognition, respect. When they have it, they're not telling you to give them money. They're not telling you. They want to be part of everything you're doing. The knowledge they have, you don't have it. So pick all the knowledge, talk with them. Life will be better for you. You don't need to be hiding and looking for security people to be carrying you about.
And that's what representation is all
exactly.
About. Okay, so if eventually you emerge winner to sit on that seat to represent Oshimili South in the Delta State House of Assembly. Now let's get to know what are your vision for your people? What are you planning to do for them?
You know, they tell you water no get enemy. I'm from Oshimili South. And Oshimili South, with the water surrounding us, that it is peace. One thing I want for my people is to have peace in every home. That we can sit down together as a family and discuss the way forward for our people and our children and the ones yet unborn. Because when you have good laws on ground and it's properly implemented, even children yet unborn will benefit from such laws. So, and it is impossible for you to have all the facts if you don't meet the people. So my job is to make sure that the lawmaking in the House of Assembly, that is not an issue because I'm up to the task. I'm very, very equal to the task. It's for my people and I to sit down all the time to look at issues, all the challenges facing us, to know what and what we will present first, and the ones who, you know, prioritization is very, very, very critical. So we know the ones that are very, 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 very necessary. And it is only when you do that, when you have a good need assessment of what the people want, that you'll be able to make a better presentation. Now, you're not going to say because you saw a woman carrying water now, it is water that they need. There are other things that are most critical for that person. Seeing that person carrying water at that time was what that person needed at that time. Maybe the person will need a primary health center, need this and that. All those things you have to bring them to the notice of the executive so that at the end of the day, proper implementation of those policies that they have will now impact positively on my people.
Okay. Asaba is the state capital for Delta State, and Asaba is located in Oshimili South.
Yes.
So what are your plans? We're just saying we are looking forward, looking into the future anyway. Believing, let's just assume and believe anyway that you'll finally emerge winner.
Yes.
What are your plans for Asaba, the Delta State capital that is located here in Oshimili South?
Yes.
What do you plan to do to make Asaba better than what it is like this way as a capital of a state? If you win, that's what we're asking.
I will win by His grace.
Amen.
I will win.
I pray. I answer the prayer.
Asaba is not just the capital of Delta State. Asaba was the first capital of this country.
Okay.
There is no Nigeria without Asaba. You cannot talk about Nigeria today without talking about Asaba. And so being the state capital today, and of course, all the time.
Amen.
No many things have happened. All we need to do is to work closely with the executive. Closely, our people also have to participate. Nobody is going to sit at home. All that we need, that is why I talked about the needs assessment. It's not just what I want, it's about what my people want. Everybody will begin to participate in politics now. Begin to participate in things that matter most to us. We cannot sit at home and say, oh, we need this. When you need something, you work for it. Sure. And that is why I'm going to represent them. So I'm going to disturb them from beginning to the end. So that at the end of the day, what we want to happen in Asaba as a state capital, in Oshimili South, not just Asaba, because all the surrounding places are capital territory. We have Oko, we have Ukwe, we have so many communities.
Even Okpanam is now close to Asaba, that we call all Asaba, although yes. That's Oshimili North anyway. Yes. But it's now like a capital city as well.
Before now, all these communities around us, when you ask them where they come from, they tell they're from Asaba. So nothing has changed. They're still Asaba. All of them are still Asaba. So we are going to work together. Collaboration is very critical. So I work with my people. We'll decide exactly what we want. And those things we want, by the grace of God, we'll make sure that we achieve it at the end of the day.
Amen. I'll keep saying amen to the prayers. Amen. My womanhood is my pride. Yes, we are looking at the woman in Bar.Bridget, Ifechukuku, Anyafulu, and we are still with her here. And I'd like you to know that yesterday girls are today's women, and today's girls will be tomorrow's women. And so we are saying to each and everyone out there, let's take care of the girl child. Let's train the girl child. Let's empower the girl child, and let's make the girl child to become what God has destined her to be in life, whatever God has plans that God has for the girl child, because a lot derail, like we've been saying, because it seems like they've lost focus. Now, it's very clear, crystal clear, that you have said, if you emerge winner, your topmost priority is going to be the empowerment of women and the girl child. Topmost priority. Now, how are you going to do that?
You know, building the capacity of women is very critical. Building the capacity of the girl child is also very critical. Why? In your entry point, you have said that today's girl is tomorrow's woman.
Yeah.
And the yesterday girls is who I am today.
Yeah.
Now, and I told you in the course of our conversation that the woman is a nation builder.
Oh, sure.
So it is what we want to have as a nation that will make us make sure that the girl child is empowered. And I told you in the course of our conversation that all these broken homes we have here and there, if you look down into the matter, all those things run down to economic crisis. So when a woman is empowered, when the girl child, like His Excellency is doing now, 18 to 30 are empowered. Many of them are very big entrepreneurs now. Yeah. They sit down and the girl child who becomes a woman makes money. So I told you that empowerment is in terms of economy.
Yeah.
So whether the man is around or not, the home is intact. The children are not hungry, because children will not wait for you and say, wait for me. Children don't wait for tomorrow. What they want is what they want now. You cannot tell a child, oh, wait for tomorrow to bring money before they can eat breakfast or lunch. Or the children will cry all day, and you will see a lot of embarrassment. So when a woman is empowered, the woman will know that her home, her family, is the #1 bank account that she has. So you must invest in these ones to enable us have a future that is protected. Because outside God, if you say only God will protect, and you say no, let me sit down and be watching, you're wasting your time. So those skills are needed. Building capacity of the girls, the women, very critical. When their capacities are built, they have skills, they have what it takes to manage a home, and then they go to their work. They have a lot of things. At the end of the day, there won't be issues. Even if there are other issues which can be managed, it's not going to be as bad as some of the things that we have now. And then when you have proper home training for children, if you like, let the parents travel. Even when the parents are not there, they have passed on. They behave as if the parents are watching them. So we need that serious value system that has crashed at the end of the day. And that's what His Excellency, part of what His Excellency is doing to make sure that every home in Delta State is secured.
My womanhood is my pride, and I encourage every woman to always believe in herself, because sister, I often say that you are 100% that queen. Believe in yourself. And one thing we say first that you must have or wear and put on as you leave your house each day is your self-confidence as a woman. Believe in yourself and don't let anybody put you down. Whatever dreams you have, you can achieve it. Whatever you're looking forward to, it can come to pass if you believe in yourself and have confidence. My womanhood is my pride. So let's take pride in our womanhood. We are still looking at the woman in Bar.Bridget, Anyafulu, and she's still here with us. Ma'am, let's look at the challenges you've been through in life as a woman, and how you've been able to, go through all of them, pass through all of them, and you're still standing like these. You're about entering the House of Assembly as it is, with special, interest to your organization, and as well as you, a politician. What are those challenges? How did you go through all of them?
I told you that I grew up with my parents.
Yeah.
And at six, my father had told me that I must not fear anybody except God. He looked into my face and said to me, Ifechukwu, I said, sir. He said, including me. It's only God you have to fear. And then at 6, my father also had told me about death. So, you find that from that age, my dad had prepared me for the future. So even if he's not seen, I'm not seeing him physically, I know he lives.
Yeah.
I know he lives because he told me that the only fear I should have is the fear of God. And as a child, for an adult to tell a child that is 6 years that you are bigger than death, you know that he already knew and understood what life was all about. And so he needed to plant that into my head and the head of my younger ones at 6. My younger ones were not talking, they were just a bit, two of them. So from that time on, and I grew into adulthood, I don't ever forget what my father told me. And even when we live with my parents and my younger ones, same parents, if my father buys anything for us, before I will give my own to you, I must give it back to him, and then he will use his hand to give it to you. If I wear your own, he will flog you. He will flog me for wearing your own. So my father taught me and my younger ones to live one day at a time. One day at a time. And my father even told us that he never had a house. So the day he would die, the owner of the house we are staying will take his place. So at no given time did my father ever told us anything about material things. All that mattered to him, from the time when I was that a child, even when my younger ones were crawling, my father will always have monthly meeting with us. You can imagine what will a 5-year-old that I wasn't even talking, and the other 2 that I see now, we are not even talking. What type of meeting are you doing with children who don't talk? But that meeting, we had that meeting until the month that my father passed on. We will always have that meeting except we were not together. So he had prepared me and my younger ones ahead of time that there is nothing in life that should bother you. So I'm not ever bothered. All I need to do, like he had told us, is fear God, work hard, and don't bother about how things will work if you have worked hard. And don't bother to be who you are not. So you see, I have to always remain who I am. It will not change, because those are the first things my father taught me. And then becoming an adult, I got this song they sing, one day at a time. One day at a time, sweet Jesus. That's my part. And I don't think I want to move away from there. So I already understood that 2 critical dates are important. One has been spent. Then what I do between that time and when I fall asleep is my business. If I do it well, it will be to the glory of God. If I don't do it well, it would be a shame on me. So that's how I've grown. So any challenge that comes, it is obvious that anybody that have passed through the labor room, whether at the traditional birth attendant place or in the hospital, there are bound to be challenges. Because challenges, Jesus Christ faced so many challenges. And he also said to us that we must take it one day at a time. So challenges, yes, many challenges all my life. But I can tell you that they come and they go, because I know that they shall surely come and they will also pass away. So I face them the way they come. And I face every challenge with utmost humility, because I am not the author of my life. So that's the way I face challenges. But whether I had so many, I had critical challenges that will make people have hypertension. But when they come, like my father will say, even if this whole building is burning and there's a space where you can stay, the fire will not come there, just stay there. When the fire is over, you will walk out of it. So I have taken my life the way it is. When they come, I'm not going to lose anything. I will wait on the Lord. And if God says this is the way it will be, I don't have any powers to change it. Because before I was even born, before I was born, before my grandparents were born, God knew me. Yeah, my father told me even before his own parents were born. My grandfather died in 1947. And Papa says even before his father was born, God knew that my name would be Fechikuku. So why do I need to worry myself? So what I do is to put in my best at every given point. Do it as if today is the end of the world. And that's all I can do. It doesn't matter. You don't just attach anything to yourself, because you know I told you when I was born, they thought I was going to die. So, but today I'm speaking many years after. So I didn't come with anything. As I like the nuts, they always recognize that they didn't come with anything. Everything that I have, everything that have come to me, wherever I am, is the grace of God. So I recognize that all is grace of God. When times are good, I am happy. When times are not good, I need to also be happy and thank God. Because every challenge, every bad experience is a chapter of your life that makes you stronger. So I learn those challenges are chapters of my book that makes me a better person as the day comes. So I accept them with good faith. No matter how bad the challenges have been, I have passed through them, but I have taken them in good faith.
Yeah, and you are still standing. So for the fact that you're still standing, in fact, running for the assembly right now, yes, you've overcome, and definitely you keep overcoming.
Amen.
With God on your side and all
Amen.
our sides as
Amen.
it is. Now let's look at, still talking about women generally. Let's look at violence against women, especially domestic violence. Because we've been talking, and we talk about the home front, and we talk about how women should be able to be empowered. You know, we say that empowerment is key. Every woman needs to make money of her own, and then it can help you keep your sanity. That is a fact. Now let's look at domestic violence. How much and how well can financial empowerment help stop that? Now, because a lot of women have actually died in it. A lot of women are still going through a lot because of domestic violence today. So what's your take? How can it be handled or be stopped totally?
Well, domestic violence, I told you that we're in a world, we're Africans, we're first Africans.
Yeah.
and patriarchy is the order of the day. So as time goes on, things are changing by the second, and issues of domestic violence now is a time to continue to intensify advocacy on any form of violence. You know that even at the UN level, the world over, we have said there's need to put an end to any form of domestic violence. We are still working, and people are still working. The advocacy is ongoing. Today we are in November. Every November, from the 25th of November to 10th of December, you have the 16 days activism against gender violence on issues of women. And I say to you that we have to first recognize that women have rights. When we recognize that women have rights and the Constitution have provided for us, for men and the women, for children, everybody, we have a Constitution. And then if you now say, oh, that because I'm a man, I have a right to do anything I want to do against a woman. In Delta State, for example, you have the VAB law that fights every form of gender violence in any home. But when we talk about gender violence, don't forget too that women are also violating the rights of other people. Women are also violating the rights of children, violating the rights of girls, violating the rights of women themselves. If you talk about issues of trafficking, most of these things are done by women. You talk about trafficking, whether it's internally or external trafficking, whether it's bringing children from a community to a city, it is the women that are doing it. So the other ones are also emotional violence. You don't need to beat, you don't need to wound or injure anybody. We have what we call emotional violence. That is even worse than beat somebody. But it is in our hands to put an end to violence in any home, because the laws are there. In Delta State, there is no law that is lacking here that you can use to fight gender-based violence. So what we do is to work together, collaborate with the government, work as neighbors to find out what is happening in your neighbor's yard, to find out what this woman is going through, what the men also suffer violence. Men also suffer violence. You know, when men don't have money, and sometimes their wives have the big money, they will not talk. They may be out of ego. Sometimes they suffer violence. Sometimes men are vulnerable. So when you talk about the gender violence, it also involves men. But more importantly, it is high when you talk about women. So to put an end to it, like I said, is within our powers. And that is to say, nobody is going to say you are a meddlesome interloper in matters such as that. You will have to interfere in issues that is a threat, that threats the life of your neighbor. Whether you know them, issues that threaten the life of a child, you must interfere. You will not say, oh, you are a busybody, I don't want to involve myself. If you don't want to involve yourself and you don't want to be a busybody, one day it will happen to you. Some other person somewhere will say, it is not my business. So it's within our powers to make sure that we come together to make sure that we have peaceful homes, peaceful communities. It starts with you. It starts with me. Let us not say, it doesn't concern me. It concerns you. If you fail to take care of the child today, tomorrow that child will become something else, either for good or for bad. And all of us will have... that's why we are now going through schools. You see, the Delta State government is doing a lot, going through schools, talking to the children, boys and girls, to understand that the girls at home are their sisters, the girls in their classrooms are their sisters and friends. So as they grow up together, don't begin to tell the boy differently and tell the girl differently. We're also telling the mothers the fathers to stop stereotyping. Don't say the girl child is not is going to be somebody's wife, and the boy child will be the one that will take care of the home. It doesn't make sense. Both boy child and the girl child are very important people, and they are going to become our leaders and the great men and women in the future. So it is important they begin to know now who they are as sisters. I won't want my sister-in-law to suffer in my home because he's married to my brother. I also would not want to suffer in any man's home because I'm married to the man. No, all of us will have to watch the way we do things and then learn to love ourselves so that we can have peaceful homes.
And a better society.
And a better society.
Yeah,
when you have peaceful homes and all the family units are in peace, you have a peaceful society.
Yes.
So it's within our powers to make
to make it
a better society.
Yes, talking about a better society. Now let's come to look at our young girls. We just keep talking about the girls because, like I said, the girls of today will be the women of tomorrow. But how the society is going to be tomorrow? With the young girls who find on the streets 247 when just I don't know how to describe it. It's becoming something that you know pains the hearts when we come out on the streets of Asaba at night and see the way our beautiful young talented girls are hanging around, and a lot of things are happening now. As a politician and as a woman that's grown to this level, what would be your advice to these young girls if you have an opportunity to spend time with them? How do you think you can change their mindset to take pride in their womanhood and believe God that they can become whatever they so dream to want to be in life without doing that kind of business?
Well, I talk with them. I can tell that in 2008, 2009, the first, one of the students in the school acquisition center, I brought her from front of the Grand Hotel. And because I work, this office, ICWCD, work with all class of persons, sex workers. We work with sex workers. What do? So many of, if you have time to sit with them, you also find out that they're also facing a lot of challenges. And because of the fact that mothers have failed to play the roles, some mothers have failed to play their roles at home. You need to, the children are first your friend. Even if you are the mother or father of a child, they are your friends. So what do? No matter how harsh you are, I'm very strict. My father growing up was very strict. Very, very strict. But yet, he was my best friend. At home, I am very strict with my children. I'm very, very strict. But that is not to say that they're not my friends. They're my best friends. When I sit down to talk with them, they know that when I'm angry, when I want to deal with issues, they stay away. But when I'm my normal self, they're my best friends. So what are parents doing? What are parents doing to know that their children are first their friends? They're friends. So it is when you have a friend that you can confide and say so many things to, that you begin your challenges will begin to drop. So some mothers are not doing that thing. That is when you now find that your children will leave the home. There is a dress in the bag, or they will go outside and beg their friends to get a dress to wear. But meanwhile, your child left the home with a uniform. I monitor my children even if I'm not in town. I monitor them even to the night. Some mothers are not doing it. Some mothers even go and make half clothes that shows their body. Thank God that the VAB law in Delta State says that indecent exposure is a crime against the state in Delta State. So when you sit down to talk with these girls, some of these sex workers, you find out that it is as a result of the failure of the parents, leaving them to do whatever they like, the kind of training people of my age had. We have refused to now train our children, working with what we're passed, the kind of training they passed on to us. So that is the issue. It is the failure of some parents to manage their homes. So their children have decided to find friends outside the home. And so you see those girls hanging around. Some of them will tell you they are from so place. The days, I know when we keep some of them, we invite. I have had an experience of the father coming to tell me, I will kill her today. I say, you can't kill anybody. You can't kill anybody. He said, I didn't know that this is the type of work my child is doing. How old is this your child? How old is this your child? Why will you not monitor your child? Why will you not let your child tell you anything, no matter how bad it is? You cannot kill the child. So when the child finds peace outside the home, he will go there. Whether that peace is for bad or for good. That is why we have come to this situation where we are. So it is partly that is 80% the fault of some parents. And then the remaining one they will tell you is poverty. Poverty has nothing to do with it. Poverty has nothing to do with it. So many people are poor. They work hard. If you go to school, it's the poor children that make the best results. Because they know that they're poor. And they're already seeing people that they want to be like. So they work hard. So any girl child that tells you it's because of poverty, I don't have anything to do, that's why I'm doing it, is wrong. It's not like telling you the truth. I work with sex workers and I know how I get them. So, but this is a bad zone for them in Delta State because the state has a law. I know that they are implementing some things, some of the laws, and I also know that one day will come when they will get to that junction and so many people will begin to run. The state will do proper implementation to make sure that you don't see such things around the corner. But I can tell you that that thing can only happen because of where we are coming from. Yeah. Because of where we are coming from. And because many of our mothers are out there looking for money. Money cannot buy you peace. Money cannot give you a home. Money can only destroy you when you don't use it well. Money is very good, but it is not at the detriment of a family. Like I said, my family is my bank account. That's the only account I have because I know that I have a family. And when you play with your family, you are finished because the day, evening time will come. When that evening comes, where you are not able to do anything with all your money, somebody somewhere out of 5, 1 will come. But when you are not investing in your family and your family is not your bank account, a day will come where the bank account is empty and there is nobody to turn to. And that time, it will be difficult when you look back at how things have happened and where you are now. You will begin to ask so many questions that you will not have answers to.
So in all, we are saying that some parents have failed.
They have failed woefully.
Let parents, especially our mothers, do their duties.
How did we get
checking up?
Yes.
Our girl children. The girl child, you must take care of the girl child. Let's all put our hands together to train the girl child. Let's talk with the girl child often. Let's get to understand how they feel, what they go through day in and day out. Let's train the girl child and let's help the girl child to become what she has been destined to want to be in this life. They all have dreams. Let's help them realize their dreams.
And don't say because you are not the biological child, mother of a child and you will not talk. Me, I talk. So maybe sometimes they say I'm trouble. I must talk. I must talk because at the end of the day, God will demand accountability.
Yes.
I must talk. Because you are a woman, you are a mother. So when you see a child, whether it's a big girl child or a small girl child or boy child doing something wrong, you must talk. Yeah. Talk. Let them say you are a bad woman. You talk too much, but you must talk.
You have done your part.
Yes.
Yes. Yesterday's girls are today's women, and today's girls will be tomorrow's women. What kind of society are we going to have if we don't take care of the girl child? We'll be speaking with Bar.Bridget Ifechukwu Anyafulu. Thank you so much for coming on The Woman in You today to share with us, talk with us, and of course, tell us your plans for 2023. We are saying thank you for all you've been doing, and we're wishing you well in the elections. But just before you go, advice to our women and our young girls out there.
My advice to the woman is, first, you are a nation builder. Every woman is a nation builder. If we are going to have a good tomorrow, it is our work of today that will make our tomorrow better. If we are going to have a future where our girls will be more than Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, it is what we have done today that will make it better. So I beg every woman, and see yourself as, if without you, there is nothing like this world. God has given you a lot of powers to make this world a better place. Now that we are in Nigeria, in Delta State, I beg you to make wise use of this power that God has given to you, to develop this nation and make our children better. That in the end, I know that I'm going to have testimonies in years to come.
Amen.
That our girls from Delta State will be leading people across the world. It's not going to be only Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. There will be many ladies from Delta State. And our boys will be great youths, all of them, doing great things across the world. Because I know that you have the capacity to do it. I pray to God that all of us will recognize our mistakes and go back to the drawing board for the future of our children.
Thank you so much. Thank you for speaking with us on The Woman in You today. And we are looking forward to come celebrate with you 2023.
Thank you. I like the way you call me Ifechukwu.
And I love that name. I just discovered it. Yes. I just discovered it. That's nice. So thank you once again, ma'am.
I'm so grateful
for talking with us. Thank you so much.
Very much.
And so that's the program for today. Speaking with Barrister Bridget Ifechukwu Anyafulu has been an interesting time out here. We've learned a lot about her and of course about life generally as a woman and what you should be doing as a woman. My womanhood is my pride. And so let's all take pride in our womanhood. Let's not sell it for peanuts. I've got pride, I've got potentials. I have class and I am special. Joy Ochei is my name. I'll see you next week again. Let's do it together. Join us when we return with another interesting personality on the show. And then, Del, keep being who you are. Believe in yourself, sister. You are 100% that woman.
Audio Jungle.